Welcome back to the Rondinelli Project. I'm Mr. R, and today's film takes place on Lake Wilhelm. I'd like to explain to you where I find crappies and how I catch them. Crappies are fun to catch and are really good to eat. So I finally made it to Lake Wilhelm to start the springtime crappie season, and here is the footage I shot. Let's take a look.
So how do I locate these tasty fish? This might be different for different people, but for me, I start by looking for rock piles or brush piles along the shoreline. This is an ideal location to find crappies, just like the structure you see here. This is a rock pile. I also look for any sort of brush. This is a beaver house, and it's a natural magnet for crappies. This is a great place to start. I'm going to start off the day with a tube bait, black and chartreuse. I'm using a 1/32 ounce jig head tied to 4-pound test, low visibility green monofilament line. That low visibility green is really important. I anchored off of this beaver house. I use a slow retrieve. I don't use any bobber near brush. I just bring that jig back very slowly, let it sink towards the bottom till you feel a little tick in the line, and that's a fish striking. That's when you set the hook, and most likely that will be a crappie. Not always. Sometimes you'll get into the bluegills, and I've found that bluegills and crappies, although you'll get them together, when the bluegills move in, the crappies kind of move out. The crappies do like to stay close to their cover, but the school itself can drift and move in and out of where you're catching them. So you want to try different lanes and different retrieve speeds. This is a nice crappie here, probably weighs close to 3/4 to a pound. And for Lake Wilhelm, that's a pretty good crappie. I'll put that one in a live well. Crappies are in a feeding frenzy prior to the spawn. And this one here, you can see it's average crappie on Wilhelm, but notice how the jig is inside the mouth. The hook set, that's a good hook set in the top of the mouth. And this particular crappie, like most of them I caught today, they were just absolutely pounding that jig. Here's a little tip for you too. I use a counter to keep track of my count. Put them in a live well, hit that counter, and you know exactly how many you're riding home with you. Springtime, of course, in northwestern Pennsylvania generally means the crappie spawn will soon begin. An important factor that triggers the spawn is water temperature. 68 to 72 degrees is the target range you should be monitoring. Not all, but most electronics today will monitor your water temperature. But remember, that's just surface temp, because the deeper you go, the cooler the water becomes. It's taken me quite a while to get over to the lake this year because our weather pattern has not been what I would call spectacular. Heavy winds, lots and lots of rain. But find the brush piles, slow retrieve, try different colors of jigs. I like to use jigs just because you catch more fish in a shorter period of time. You don't have to worry about rebaiting. Sometimes the crappies will get finicky and they won't hit. But if you find a school of them, pre-spawn like this, you should do pretty well. And the fishing should get better and better and better as you get closer to the spawn. So put a few in the live well and have yourself a fish fry. As you can see, most of the crappies I got today, well actually all the crappies I got today were black crappies. Pretty good size for black crappies. So there you have it. They're fun to catch, they're good to eat. So get out to your favorite lake, tie on a jig, find some brush, use a slow retrieve, and you should catch lots of crappies. Hey, good luck.
There you have it, finding spring crappies on Lake Wilhelm, where and how to do it. I'm Mr. R, and this is the Rondinelli Project. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and until next time, we gone!